Hey you guys, welcome back. This is Joe Ellis at Joseph Mark Photography, and I'm back to you guys tonight with a little quick tutorial on creating super shallow depth of field with your Olympus camera. So, I'm a huge fan of shallow depth of field, and that's why, I love shooting with a lot of Olympus's fast primes. And what I love about them is how sharp they are, how they give us a nice, beautiful 3D rendering of the background, and just are a wonderful tool for kind of executing our vision. But as a Micro Four Thirds shooter, we all know that even at our fastest apertures that we currently have available, that it's not the shallowest depth of field that is possible in photography, whether you're shooting, some larger format or large format film or whatever it might be. You know that there is the capability out there to get even shallower depth of field. So what if you're jonesing for something like that large format look? How can you do it? Well, I've been a fan of what I think a lot of people call computational photography for a long time. And to me, that's just using your digital camera as, in any way that you can, as a tool to kind of execute the way that your vision in the way that you want. So tonight I'm going to show you guys a method that's been popularized in wedding photography for a while called the Brenizer Method. So Ryan Brenizer was the first one to kind of coin that term, and he may actually be the inventor of it. I don't know, but in any event, if you wanted to accurately describe it, it would be a shallow depth of field box stitched image. And so what you can do, and this doesn't have to be on a tripod or done with any a certain amount of with any real precision, let's say. You would take overlapping photographs, and you can use Photoshop to put them together to give you that large format shallow depth of field. So in this case, on the photo on the right here, this was taken at 25 millimeters wide open, just to give you kind of a reference idea of what a normal Micro Four Thirds single image capture would look like from this location. The photo on the left is our stitched image, and it's taken with a 45 millimeter 1.2 wide open. And I use about 7 or 8 frames to kind of make up this image. And in the end, what you wind up with is the perspective of the 25, but with a couple of huge advantages. If you zoom in here, it's pretty easy to see what's going on. Not only do you get a much, much, much shallower depth of field out of this, you also get the added benefit of having about 50 megapixels worth of resolution. And the reason, of course, is that the center of the frame here, her face, is actually one frame. This is a whole 20 megapixel frame of her face, or close to it. Whereas, of course, over here, her face represents only about, one, tenth of the image. So, you're going to get this added resolution, and you're going to get this beautiful background blur. So how do you do it? Well, it's actually really, really easy. Now, from a capture perspective, you're going to want to use a longer lens. 50 or 25 millimeter and longer is definitely the way to go here. The wide angles just don't stitch together nicely. So in this case, a 45 is the perfect choice. Now, you are going to have a somewhat stationary subject. Now, if she blinks or something during the exposure process, it's not a big deal, because you can just pick a frame for her face that has her eyes open or whatnot. So if she shifts a little bit or something happens, doesn't mean that you're ruined. You can still get this done through the magic of Photoshop. But you do need a willing participant and something that is relatively stationary, of course. I didn't have the camera on a tripod, and I wasn't being particularly careful about overlapping my frames. I took all the frames in a sequence, working around sort of the clock here, counterclockwise, in about, I'm going to say 6 to 8 seconds. It was like bang, 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 so on and so forth, all the way around in a circle. And so once I had all of those back in Photoshop, you can tone them and do all the things you normally do. And of course, you'd want to sync them all so that all the tones match when you stitch. And then it's a piece of cake. You just grab all the files, right click, go merge to panorama, and bada boom, it pulls up a seamlessly stitched image of all the frames that you used. Now, the one thing that you do want to play around with in this pane here is this spherical, cylindrical perspective buttons, because it does sort of change the aspect ratio of the final stitch, and you want to pick one where, you know, her body doesn't look stretched, or, you know, things like that, or whichever one you think looks best. So once you're done, you would just hit merge, and you'd be right out at it. And you would have what an internet calculator tells me is about 0.57 of an f-stop. 0.57 would be the f-stop of this image as compared to 1.2. So, you know, just converting that out to full frame or whatnot, you're talking about an f1, f1.2 type image. So it really is a very nice, beautiful shallow depth of field. And then, like I said, to boot, you're going to get all that extra resolution as well. So if you love shallow depth of field and you're just jonesing for it at some point, like, man, I just really want that super, super, super shallow look, and you have the ability to control your subject a little bit, then I think this could be a great option for you. I do a lot on wedding days with couples portraits if I think I find something really fantastic, or if I just really want to make sure I have a super high resolution version of it. And sometimes for me, even with client images, the part the clients are in is not even more than one of the frames. So like, for example, if I have a tiny couple in the frame, let's say way down here, they would only be part of one frame, but I'm stitching because I want all this extra background, and I don't want that background to necessarily be sharp. I want it to be soft, but at the same time, so my couple pops out, but give me that, you know, sort of grandiose view of something while maintaining all that resolution. So just a couple you know, things to think about, something to try next time you're out there working with portraits, and let me know what you think, guys. In the meantime, please subscribe, hit the notification, and talk to me in the comments. So again, this is the Brenizer method, and you know, it's a wide open box stitched image that gives you a super shallow depth of field. Hope that was fun. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Joseph Mark Photo is my Instagram handle, JOSEPHMARKPHOTO. And of course, my website is just josephmark.com. Thanks, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.